All right, a little bit of breaking news right now. LAPD in pursuit of a stolen car. Let's go up to Desmond Shaw, live in SkyCal. Going pretty fast there, Des.
Yeah, so Juan, we believe it is this vehicle right here, this older gray Honda Accord. You see the spotlight there from LAPD overhead, this allegedly stolen vehicle. LAPD wanted to get all their ducks in a row before they tried to pull this car over, because this is just happening so often now with these stolen cars that they take off, and indeed that is exactly what happened. But they have the helicopter overhead here pretty quickly. So they have been with this one for a bit now. We understand that the
police officers, once they know it's not only one person but two people they're dealing with.
Right. They're going to be aware of that, and they're going to make sure that they have enough officers.
What was that, Des?
Really close.
Just really, really close with that little BMW i3 right there. Might have even tapped the paint there of the other car. That was incredibly close. This person driving this car like he's driving a Ferrari, but really he's just driving an older Honda Accord. Definitely not a capable car for this type of driving. Just a little four-cylinder engine, front-wheel drive. But the way driving it here, very, very erratically. Very lucky they haven't lost control so far. But Mike, go ahead. You can finish your point there.
Yeah, no, they'll be more aware. They had a bunch of officers in place to try to be able to make this. When we really see them start to kind of think about how many people they need in a chase, it's usually when there's kind of 3 or 4 people in the car. Generally, with 2 people, you still have enough officers. But, I mean, we're going fast, over 100 miles an hour. I do hear CHP trying to get in place now to take it over as we're coming back down southbound on the 405, listening to this on the CHP's Teal radio. LAPD is now completely getting out of this. They don't want to be involved in this anymore. So the airship is over it now, trying to coordinate with CHP to get those CHP officers in place. And we've been listening to the airship on the CHP's frequency. So hopefully we'll see those CHP officers kind of get in place now. But yeah, I'm not surprised that LAPD backed out. You got just a stolen vehicle, and it doesn't sound like it was anything kind of witnessed or carjacking or anything like that. It just sounds like they ran a plate, it came back stolen, tried to stop the guy, and it didn't work. So it doesn't surprise me with the high speeds and it being on the freeway that LAPD backed out. But hopefully CHP officers are getting in place now.
Yeah, Mike, when Desmond mentioned that this is a Honda Accord, I quickly remembered, and I looked to confirm it here. It looks like the past 10 years, the Honda Accord is the most stolen car of the past decade. So we're looking at it right here, and despite it being an economy car, a fuel-efficient car, and as Desmond was saying, not one for high speeds or quick movements, we're seeing it here, and we did see at least one crash, right? We crashed into one car, 2 cars?
We heard at the 405 in Roscoe several cars, actually, but the interesting thing is the damage doesn't totally support that, so it makes me wonder how severe the crashes were. But even when Des pointed out that he got really close to that BMW, maybe swapped a little paint there, so it could have been something like that. But yeah, I was going to mention that too, Juan. These types of cars are very commonly stolen, so we'll have to see what LAPD or what CHP rather is going to do. There's that video replaying on your right hand side of the screen. Really close call.
That was a very close call. If you're joining us here, Desmond, go ahead.
No, yeah, we're just getting off the freeway here at Nordhoff, so coming down into the North Hills and Northridge area. Yeah. So making a right turn here down onto busy Nordhoff Street, headed towards Cal State Northridge, my alma mater. So now we're getting the best look we've had at this vehicle with the dark tints. And this is an older Honda Accord, by the way. This looks to be like a late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Version right here. So, this is now, look, we're going freeway speeds on surface streets. This is where it really gets nerve-wracking. It's one thing to be going 70, 80, 90 on the freeway, but when you're going this fast on these streets out here, where you might have people out here walking around or people just pulling out in the intersection, not expecting someone to be going 70 miles an hour through here, that is when this gets especially nerve-wracking. So, we'll see where the suspect is headed, blasting right through the intersection there to get ahead of the traffic. Very, very desperate driving. Mike, I thought I had heard that CHP just said that they were backing out of this. Did you hear that on the radio?
CHP's Newhall office said they were 22ing. We are kind of in the West Valley office of the CHP, but since CHP never actually got involved in this, I would be kind of surprised to see them get involved on surface streets. That's generally their kind of rule. If they're not in it already and it's not on the freeway, they generally don't like to get involved. And now we're moving westbound, right, Des? So we are not coming back towards the freeway for a while.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, this won't lead us to any other freeways unless they decides to turn north towards the 118 or south towards the 405. This is just going to go clear across the San Fernando Valley towards Chatsworth. And another factor here with the age of this car, just cars from the late 90s, early 2000s don't have the same kind of safety features that modern cars have. And the way this guy's driving this, if someone in a big SUV, which is just so common these days, pulls out and doesn't see this person, and the suspect hits them, it's going to end very badly for this driver. Now, suddenly turning back around, flipping a U-turn here, right in the middle of the intersection near Aldi as we were getting closer to Cal State Northridge. Kind of in the Sherwood Forest neighborhood now of Northridge, North Hills. Now we are headed back to the freeway. So just as I said that, now suddenly we are headed back towards the 405. So what is the strategy here? I don't know if he didn't like what he saw up ahead or what. There's no heavy traffic or anything out here. They just decided to flip around here, and we do have two people in the car, so you really wonder what kind of conversation is going on. And there's the other person involved. Are they even privy to any of this? Were they just out with this person? This was their friend, and all of a sudden they got lit up, and this guy's running from the cops. It's impossible to say, or are they complicit in all of this? But again, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour here on Nordhoff, back towards the 405. We'll see what their next move is.
Good evening. We're doing a live streaming once again. The pursuit took place as well. They try to pull the car over. Gets off the freeway, head towards the surface streets at 60 miles an hour. I first uploaded it on my first YouTube channel, and that has 191 subscribers on it, of that Honda Accord that I uploaded in the 2000s, Y2K, 2000s, 2002, all of that. I used it with lease rates, advertisements, all of that, you name it, because this is where the pursuit of that stolen Honda Accord that has a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic, I could tell to both transmissions, using a turn blinker once again to get around traffic. And we could tell you that this suspect, they're listening now on the frequency radio scatter, the microwave radio, that they're dealing with two of these helicopters. Just listening to that, we're hearing is where the left turn had blinkered, using a right turn to turn right on a sweeping evasive turn, and now interesting driving here. He's now losing freeway speeds, heading towards back the 405 freeway like he was just a few minutes ago, and he did hit the curb. He hit the sweeping right, drift a little bit of the right turn. When you drive a car like this, that's what's gonna happen. That wasn't meant for this. Tires were important. They couldn't imagine these tires were equipped with sports car tires. This is like the economy import luxury car, like the 1995 Nissan Maxima whatsoever. He nearly lost control. They were about to end the 405 freeway, decided to go stop on London, and now it was North Hills. And last major street to parallel to the 405 freeway he got off the freeway, not far away, being called out on this, kind of surprised to see the LAPD's helicopter spotlight shine. Now we can tell, tracking mode a lot of times, using the right turn blinker again on Roscoe Boulevard in North Hills. That was a change of protocol. They're worried about losing the car, and we're very worried about if the units. Or I'm not worried about it. We're very worried about not very worried. They're very worried about the units not keeping up with that suspect. He could possibly lose control or hurt himself or spin out of control. He's driving at least 40 miles an hour. Not driving erratically, driving low a little bit. And then to the 405 freeway surface street that he could get back on. Wow! Alright. I got you. Shout out to my Uncle Vincent. Thank you. Now that's what the CHP is talking about. They're aware of where this guy is headed and now wanting to get involved. The city that syndicates back onto that freeway. That we're saying that this what they're saying about the LAPD's policy. The traffic mode comes off when there's typically is unusual. LAPD still have their night sun spotlight on. That's not generally what the policy, but the sheriff's department does leave their lights on nighttime. In the daytime on mornings, they leave their night sun off. And turn his head lights back on, blacked out a little bit. We could tell you, we could say that this suspect has been driving at least 50, 55, 60 miles an hour that he just passed. This is what's been on. Driver with two people inside the car, a Honda Accord with a stolen car pursuit. They do know where the car came out. Where have they been? Or was it stolen? It's a stolen car. These Hollywood or Van Nuys units, they have a spot of them. They don't have details of that car, what was going on. I'd like to tell you that this was a stolen car. They were in on the license plate. Still, they got into a follow-on once again, and we might go all together, getting their helicopter overheading, pulled the car over on the freeway. They did try to pull him over. That's when he took off and pursuit was initiated. Now, the northbound 5 freeway and the 14 freeway. They have canceled their involvement once again, and they're trying to get the CHP unit to take over, still following from the airship, or the police cars they can't believe their patrol cars behind it.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Give me your money! Give me your money! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now! Empty your pockets! Empty your pockets! Give me what you got! I'm gonna shoot! I'm gonna shoot! Ah!
Okay. Okay, I just got shot. Good night. Sorry, I got taunted there. The police really... I got taunted for just a minute or two. He was east of the 405 freeway getting into the Panorama City. This will take them to the 170 freeway. Definitely doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. This pursuit, rhyme or reason for going eastbound. Eastbound and the northbound and the southbound. Back the second time on Roscoe and Panorama City. When two people are trying to put their heads and their higher value together in the normal value, came up with a plan where what's not clear. It's not clear of a little bit of traffic, not a police helicopter overhead. They're having to give law enforcement some space, a little bit of traffic here, and you know what? They're going to be, they're welcome to keep up with this pursuit of news helicopters. We don't know. And back towards Panorama City in Willis Avenue, and this is the ideal if they think they could ditch the car anytime. At some point, if they would run, they would foot bail, leave the car, abandon the vehicle. At that same time, headlights back off, dangerous 45 miles an hour on narrow residential streets. There's no chance for that suspect that he'll escape. This pursuit had been going on for the last 10-15 minutes or so. The driver on surface streets speeding at 45-50 miles an hour. They've lost the light from the LAPD. He's blacked out, still have his brake lights on at least. The headlights blacked out once again. I can tell you that. If they try to get this person to cool off, calm down, control himself, it's two males inside. He was supposed to use his turn blinker. They can bring them back up. Cutting the car off, Van Nuys Boulevard, pretty busy this time of evening. Coming down the Van Nuys area, just cutting the person off once again. I don't even know why, cutting traffic off earlier on. The point of was the personal, it felt very personal not to keep up with the car. They have to keep up and keep chasing that car, or it's a big factor that he'll lose control, he'll end up crashing. There's a pedestrian, he could have hurt that individual, that victim right there. That individual victim needs to be on the sidewalk, not on the street. What is he doing? No clue to anything that's going on. That's going into their ear gate, that's going into their eye gate. That's their job because the broadcast to news helicopters. And that's their job for the police officers and the police helicopter air units air units to monitor and put a night sight overhead. Heading towards early with no lights on, this is what's going to happen if he continues on and on. This is where they're in the middle of this, watching the stolen car that began in the Van Nuys area on several freeways, 605, 405 freeway, Panorama City, driving recklessly at times. From what they've understand this vehicle, that this Honda crashed into multiple cars. I was thinking about, they gave me a Honda keychain on my birthday before I turned 16, 3 years ago in 2023, excuse me, I should say, 2023. 3 years ago in May of 2023, before they gave it to me. I was learning how to drive. I had dreams. I was having dreams at 16 years old. By the time when I was in high school, I would rather have a car and a job. I haven't got a chance to drive a car. I had dreams, and tomorrow I have to do my DMV handbook. North Hills, Panorama City area, and in the last several minutes, you see the last several moments, he used the turn blinker. They're wandering the LAPD, thinking about getting ready to get out and run the plates, pick up the pursuit. Once again, I could tell you, in and out of neighborhoods. A little bit makes them think. They may be thinking about getting out, using their feet. Go run away from the cops. Hey, you made it, and guess what? It does not work. You're under arrest, buddy. That you stole a Honda Accord. It's for an example for that suspect. Right there, 2 occupants. They would rather get out and run and evade police officers, even though they're behind them. They have eyes in the air. They're watching them on the ground, and they are throwing stuff out of the passenger side door. What were they thinking? What is their problem? What is wrong with them? Now using a left turn, once again, that I could say, this is where they're going to come up. They're on Osborne Street in Panorama City, where I say this could catch up in the next couple of seconds. And then no traffic at that night, nobody out there going to bed, staying inside their homes, watching their pursuit. For those of you who tuned into my live streaming channel, thank you. They wouldn't saw them. They would not deal with the guide units that quickly as it happened. At the moment, no ground units, not the spotlight. This person still driving 65 miles an hour, and I could tell you slowing down at 40 miles an hour still. Once again, but he was on the wrong side of the road. There was a little traffic, and then where they had it, now as they're coming back to Van Nuys Boulevard, keeps going in circles and circles so many times for the last several minutes. They are deciding to stand down. CHP following behind this car, the helicopter, and then got into a truck crash, getting onto the 405 freeway in the Roscoe area. This is the second time backed out on the wrong side of the road. No, we had that yesterday afternoon, coming back down, right side of the screen, did that U-turn once again. Now going around these commuters, acting like it's a highway. No, it's not. It's a surface street, cutting cars, going past traffic. What was he thinking? Like he could, freeway, he was going at freeway speeds on the 405 freeway, southbound, northbound at 100 miles an hour. The most vehicles, stolen vehicles out there, car checks by that armed and dangerous suspects. They don't have any ground units overhead. It's the cops. All they have is the police air unit helicopters following overhead. They're in tracking mode once again, and I could tell here once he got off the freeway, and I could tell didn't want to get it. The CHP did not want to get involved. That's a shame, really. Staying on Northfield Panorama, of course there's no rhyme and reason what this driver is doing on the freeway like he was earlier on. He will remain in that area until he bails out of the car, slowing it down there. It makes them wonder again. This is what's going. Again, the units, find them. They have an idea where this guy has been. where this guy is. Wow, almost losing control. Lights are back on, almost lost control. Did some evasive swerving maneuvers. And once they figured out the curb there, he's gonna get a flat tire if he keeps making some sweeping, aggressive, dangerous, hard right turn. And hitting the curbs like this. And I can tell you right now, the tire looks a little. I gotta stop riding on my short. Let me close this. When he didn't have any more miles, how much more can this car take? There are no ground units overhead. He's driving around in circles, driving it like this. It's not a sports car. It's a compact, mid-size import car of the year. When I first uploaded the 1995 Nissan Maxima on my first YouTube channel, 191 subscribers on it, and then I did that on my second YouTube channel that has 46 subscribers. Thank you to my parents that subscribed to my channel. And as Dave said, he did see something quickly, but it was some sort of so fast under the cover of darkness that the police helicopters don't have their night sun overhead. They probably never know, and the LAPD did not have their spotlight on. They may not have been in some aware of the flight officer could radio to investigate what that was, unless they saw that whatever it was sitting in the middle of the road, middle of the street, stuck behind that truck. He's gonna have to wait until that truck gets out of the way. He's still driving calmly though. Spike strips and pit maneuver wouldn't be happy if they would not be happy, would be an option, and they would be very happy to pick up the pursuit, and that would prevent them from doing a pit maneuver. Once there is a tow truck overhead, once the pit maneuver was denied of that Lexus ES330 heading towards the 101 freeway, it happened before since the beginning of the new year. Since the beginning of the new year, it was January 5th, 2026, during winter break. What are they doing? They stopping. They have some sports car rims. The car was stolen. To see the car stopping, this is the first time they've seen them. Stop. Now they're on Willis Avenue. The police helicopter doing a great job keeping track, and the news helicopter doing a great job keeping track of this car that was speeding up, reaching high speeds, letting the car go. Letting that car go fast, saying hello to somebody. LAPD letting them know they're still here. They have their night sun back on, spotlight back on. They're monitoring this. That we could tell you the last day that he was doing circles, driving slow, obeying traffic laws in the last 5 minutes or so. And we see the people, half of the people, walking down, heading home. Things run higher than that. They treated like a second-class citizens for a joyride, using a turn blinker. Almost got close to that BMW. Some of this, they've seen that turns into full spectacles. Suspects were acting like enjoying themselves, tried to get away. They did get away from the units, like they did that night, 3 years ago in December of 2023. As long as possible, they'll keep tracking this. This pursuit, they've been following overhead for about 20 minutes since the police started this chase, and what has not transpired, as they are still on a very poorly lit street. Their streets are poor. Things quieting down a lot. Now if the suspect makes a left turn, and I can tell you driving slow. The news helicopter keeping track, the car coming back out on Roscoe. And here they go. They've been watching this for the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. And you see the driver and the passenger running out, bailing on foot. They're out, and the spotlight on overhead, running into it, and it looks like an abandoned lot complex. It's a Dry Creek wash to Jonka. One of these two of them running. Man and a woman. Man and the woman. We've seen a guy and a gal. She's got a purse. That one has a head, that man. Arms up, you're surrendering. Keep running until the police arrive. No problem. All of a sudden they have their arms up, like hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot. Like protesting. This is not a protesting thing. This is the pursuit. This is like serious. This is like the police pursuit, keeping track. What they believe they would wash that physically separates them when the police takes them into custody. They'll put them in handcuffs. They don't know if they have any officers close by to get any officers on the ground close to the suspects. What I could say is they're like speeding up officers into both sides next to that intersection. They should be running into momentarily. Really kind of is left his female companion couple whatsoever. Purse on her shoulder for the last few seconds. Going to continuing to jog down the wash, going up the stairs, taking an Olympic athlete route. And I can tell you that this is over the wash. Some suspects do run and ditch the run. They do run and ditch the car out on foot. It's a total increasing crime rate when there's a pursuit footbelling. And this is what happens when the pursuit keeps going and going. And this is what happens. This is coming to the wit's end. As the pursuit was on for the past 20-25 minutes or so. See the driver, the helicopter, night sun overhead. It's acting like this is a night sun standoff situation. LAPD might have eyes. They have been. Overhead is the helicopter. That other kiss they had, they have a backpack underneath the bridge. Whatsoever. There he is. Let you listen now.
And it was clothes they were throwing out of the car. So
But is that, he is under the bridge?
He's crouched underneath the bridge right there.
Yep.
There he is. I can see the, yeah. Well,
We see him.
We could see him.
Yeah.
The authorities could see you, buddy.
Any idea as to where the woman went? She sort of just disappeared.
We can't backtrack because then we'll lose track of this thing. We'll lose track of the person that...
Yeah.
Well, and that's what LAPD did too. I mean, there he goes back down.
The other way?
Yeah. So LAPD had to only follow one of them. She stayed behind, and he went ahead, and then Airship followed him because he's the driver, and that's who they're most interested in. 9 times out of 10, passengers get kicked loose from these chases because if they say, I didn't know, and so LAPD is most interested in the driver.
Yeah. When we say, I told them to stop, and they wouldn't do it.
And at one point when we thought they were kind of surrendering, I think that was the woman who was kind of stopping and throwing up her hands, and then we see this driver, this guy just take off, and he's still running.
It's a good shot, this too. Yeah, it looks like he's a kind of a younger guy there. Oh, now see, this is what we don't want hopping these fences.
Yeah,
and
you better hope there's no dogs in that yard.
So this is also a residential area then, right? Because I was wondering what was on the other side of the wash, but now we can see that there are.
Yeah, I think he's crouched in
apartment buildings.
Gosh.
Wow, there you have it. Thank you guys
something
dropping
unless
in. All the
yeah,
thank you for
okay.
dropping.
No, I guess
Thank
he
you
left whatever that
for
is.
dropping
I mean, they
in
seem
all
to
of
think
the
he's in his
chats
yard
that
now,
we're hearing and all of
off
this.
of
When I get my
Brookfield and Community
headset
Street.
earpiece
So
on,
just widen out here and see do we have any kind of LAPD response on
any
this.
kind
I
of
mean, it's really
LAPD response
surprising
overhead.
that, and at
That's a
this
community
point,
street
to still. I mean, they nearly got away with that other person there. They had pulled the airship momentarily, and now they are under darkness again, and looks like maybe some citrus trees or something in this person's yard. We've got an awning, so this is pretty tough. I just
Wow, that's a resident. What are they doing? Oh, guess not rush to spot for pursuit live training tomorrow night. How about if that quality mic? Second police chase carjacking suspect coming up. Let's see. Let's see. They're going to be coming up. Not likely. They're going to be coming up. It's going to be coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. 2 units. Stay good if you're involved. They didn't want to snitch. They're just being honest, doing a good job. Got your shout out. Oh my god. Whatsoever, man. Just to wrap it up, since I'm all this up, this pursuit has been going on for about 30 to 35, 40 minutes. This pursuit went on again. I'm going to sum this up, all of you guys, the viewers who are tuning in. This pursuit has been going on for about 30 to 35 to 40 minutes. The pursuit got onto the northbound 405 freeway, been on several freeways on Van Nuys, almost made a U-turn, cars almost crashed the car, got closer to that BMW. He was supposed to turn left, but he made a left turn lane to turn right, and almost closer to a second car, made a U-turn, almost got a flat tire, and we tell you we could tell, and all we could say is that he was using a turn blinker. I could tell you right now that pursuit had it on for about 40 minutes. We could we could also mention one person in custody. The other the other individual needs to be taken into custody, and we might know that this person, two individuals are in custody. That evening that we told you that we could tell the video that they have earlier that night, 2 to 3 years ago, in December of 2023, December 13th, 2023. And I forgot to mention they have their spotlights on. Two individuals, good amount of time. They've been standing there for the last 5 or so minutes once again. When we got off the freeway, I surfaced 60 miles and 60 to 70 miles per hour. Police helicopters with the spotlights night sun overhead. From their vantage point, kept going, made it easily heading towards the 405 freeway again. Many times they've seen it 100 miles per hour. The commuters did not see that coming. Bombs out. This pursuit went all the way to Surface Street. Then on Surface Street, following this street, wide residential neighborhood street, went all the way, continued on several miles. And then both of them ran out of the car as the husband and the wife ran on foot bails, kind of surrendering, trying to hop in that fence, but didn't work. Left the backpack there. He could have lost it. And now he was reaching speeds at 110 miles per hour, 405 freeway, got really almost close to that BMW. I've done that on my first YouTube channel and the second channel, the BMW E34, E39, 1997, 1989 to 1995. In 1997, a car was the 540i luxury import car of the year 1995, 1997, in 1995 to 1997. And we could say that this pursuit has been on for several hours now. No, not several hours, been on for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now we're going to continue on that police pursuit shortly. Okay, there's been this. I should see, what else did we watch? Let's watch the pursuit that's going on. Want to re-wrap all of this up? That happened over a year ago. Whatever. We're going to let you listen now, guys. Armed suspect contacted.
another high-speed pursuit, Desmond. We had one last night. We have this one tonight. How does traffic look on the 105 right now? Is it in his favor right now, the driver?
Yeah, definitely in his favor as I'm looking ahead. It doesn't look like there's really going to be any issue as far as traffic goes for this suspect. We'll see if there's any foul transport that gets set up, but I don't see any of that either. So we're getting a really good look here with the spotlight. So we can definitely see someone in the passenger seat. So it's these two in this vehicle. It doesn't look at, this is actually a rarity that we don't have a really dark tint on this vehicle, but we know there's two there. We don't think I see anybody in the back. So a rare, pretty good look inside of this vehicle. Looks like two people inside. Again, it could be armed and dangerous. And it's North County Sheriff's Deputy helicopter overhead, I believe, on this one. One of your units in back on this one. In fact, it looks like they may have turned off their lights and sirens in the moment. So I wonder if they're kind of going into surveillance mode on this one. Even when they're in surveillance mode with sheriff's deputies, they usually keep their spotlight on the vehicle, even though the units in the back tend to kind of drop out. So that's maybe what they're doing right now. And we'll see what the suspect does next as we make our way towards the Mustang.
Indeed, right now, speed 65 miles an hour. So, Mike Walker is on the desk, and we're monitoring police scanner information to the police. All right, Mike is making sure that his mic is off and loaded there as we continue to see this pursuit now. Going with Mike, take it away.
Yeah, California Highway Patrol, they are trying to get you involved in this. And I feel like definitely not sure we've been on freeway for a little while now. We went west on 105. And then popped back around LAX, which we thought they were going to go north. Even the police helicopter at one point told the ground, so if you go north on the 105, it's going to be a problem for us. Because that is a very critical interface of LAX. But got off at the 3rd Street, the Escobedo area, and then back on the eastbound 105 where we are now. And I do hear the California Highway Patrol, the South LA office, they're trying to get units in position to take this over from the sheriff's office. Now, what we're working on finding out right now from the sheriff is if this was what they call a fresh carjack. Did this just occur, or was this a situation where they ran the license plate and this is something that happened before and just now? That's what happened last time. Remember, we had the James Romita where they ran the plate and the plate came back to a felony on one felony. So we're working on getting that from the sheriff's phone right now and figuring out if this is happened today, what's that? The victim that was carjacked, was anybody injured? Those are all things.
Yeah, and another question is the victim in the passenger seat right now, perhaps we take it on a run, right?
Yeah, and that's always a possibility. We always kind of assume that it's suspect in there, but it's also a very real possibility that it's somebody who not want to be there. And as said, we're blocked out now on 105.
Desmond?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We was on pilot here. We're just waiting to see if CNC is going to get involved in this one. So we passed the 110 now, so we're making our way past South LA. And, looking at the speed here, still kind of between the speed limit and up to 100 miles an hour. And the blinker, even though the lights are off, kind of a strange. We had the lights off in most of the pursuit last night as well. We definitely had better weather conditions than we had yesterday. Last night, this time around, this area we would have been able to cover this pursuit because there was so much cloud there. But we have clear skies tonight, so not going to be a factor for this one. And so if CNC decides to scramble there, cover there, basically aircraft out of Fulton for this one, that'll be easy for them as well. But now, we can see the authorities getting involved in this one. Looks like the Highway Patrol. So it looks like they are taking this one over, which means that kind of similar to last time, we probably see their aircraft get involved as well coming out of Fullerton. But it's still sheriff's deputies overhead, and now CHP on the ground, and now that there is a unit directly behind this person, we'll see how they handle that. If they get a little crazy and drive kind of wild like they were driving last night, or if they're just going to kind of keep hanging around at these fairly consistent speeds.
Desmond, Mike, we see the passengers sticking his hand or his head out the window.
Yeah, that's our air control was part of that as well. There's a passenger, and maybe his hand and his head at one point. But they're just looking back and telling her what they're doing. But, I think that, you mentioned this is one of the ones that we don't have that crazy dark tint. We're actually able to see inside the seat for the passenger. And again, it's most suspects are normal vision. But something we still have to figure out. But yeah, CHP in the South LA office.
And we continue here eastbound on the 105. So, entry at 710 and 605.
System designed to sync perfectly with the Road Reporter app for Apple devices. We use continuous recording for the interview. Coming up at number 4, we've got the Lexavoice REPCB microphone. It's the shock isolated omnidirectional and dynamic microphone that was created for the most exacting professional applications. Designed specifically for interviews,
miles an hour almost the entire time. So kind of weird, and then, using the blinker, and then just kind of changing lanes for no reason. So, what is the plan here? Are they just trying to buy a little time before they surrender? Pretty common. It's just so strange how sometimes we just see these pursuits go on and on and on, and then all of a sudden they just end almost without it.
Got a little distracted and interrupted here. I got a little bit interrupted here making a phone call to my parents. They asked me if my garage door was shut, if my stuff was closed. So anyway, let's get back to watching this.
Serious attempt that we've seen so far of this suspect trying to get away, just refusing to bring it to an end, and looks like they're just dragging this out as long as they can.
It sure is. Well, I know Mike Rogers just got off the phone.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you have?
So I just talked to the watch commander over at Century Station. They're the ones that were in this pursuit originally. This is a fresh carjacking. This happened in the Linwood area about an hour ago at a gas station. The watch commander there, the lieutenant, tells me that the suspects forced a person out of their car. He doesn't know what the weapon was, but there is a weapon involved in this, they believe. Forced the person out of their car and took off. Both of the people in the car are both suspects. This is not a situation where one of them was the car owner or a victim in all of this. The watch commander tells me that both the people in the car are suspects. This was a carjacking that happened at a gas station in Linwood about an hour ago.
Do you see that reflection? It kind of looks like it's on the driver's side of the car there. It's either maybe a cell phone or an iPad or something. Do you see that there on the side there, Mike?
Wow. Yeah, I do, and I can't tell if it's that's kind of strange. Took off, and the CHP's not getting too close behind him. But I can't tell if that's a reflection of the light off the window from that one patrol car. Looked like he had one of the floodlights on the front left of the car, maybe trying to see in. So I don't know if that created a reflection, but real dangerous. High speeds and blacked out.
High speeds, no headlights, obviously not even tapping the brakes because you can see just how dark it is. 710 southbound now in North Long Beach. Of course, eventually he's going to get into the Long Beach area there. And eventually the 710 basically dead ends in the city of Long Beach. So he'll be forced to stay on surface streets for the time being. So we're going to have to figure out and wait to see Linwood from Long Beach. Not too far a distance, but I have to see here that this driver basically lights off, CHP behind him, and as Mike was saying, two people inside the car, both suspects in this armed carjacking in Linwood. We get closer to the port, it looks like traffic's getting a little heavier here, maybe.
we're definitely going to start to see more of the truckers headed down towards the ports. No doubt about that. We're going to lose a lane or two as well, so that may complicate things. It was the most aggressive maneuver by far that we've seen, getting on the right-hand shoulder to get away and then speeding away, and definitely put some distance between them and CHP for at least a little bit, and then looked like even the helicopter was a bit surprised and didn't have the spotlight on the suspect. So hand out the window, might be given half a peace sign there.
I was going to say, is that the middle finger?
What I think that was. I think so. I think that's what we had there. So, yeah, a little added defiance there from the suspect, from the passenger side coming off there. So that's definitely not going to make CHP too happy, but we'll see. Continuing southbound on the 710, right? It's either going to take us into downtown Long Beach or to the ports, or could cross the ports over to the LA side and over the Gerald Desmond and the Vincent Thomas bridges. If they decide to stick with this one, they were over to the right-hand side like they were going to exit Alondra. They did that kind of typical maneuver where they cut back at the last second. That never really works for these suspects. I mean, CHP is right there. They have pretty lightning quick reflexes with all this. As we're passing the 405, let's see if it's going to try another last-second maneuver or actually stick with the southbound 710, and they are sticking with it. A couple more trucks there, as you mentioned. So we're now committed. We're now officially in the city of Long Beach, and is going to run out of asphalt eventually if they stay here on the 710.
And just like you said, Desmond, we can tell there just the narrowing of lanes. We've lost a lane or two there. 4 or 5 lanes here on the 710 southbound heading into Long Beach, Mike.
Yeah, and CHP, not that we're at speeds that are anywhere acceptable for this, but they did kind of talk about pit maneuvers if we ever got down to those speeds. The CHP sergeant denied the use of a pit because of the fact that they are armed. And that's what we talk about sometimes. They don't want to, when you do a pit maneuver, the idea is to spin them around. But when you spin them around, they end up facing the officers.
And if they're armed,
that's an officer safety issue. So the sergeant has denied the use of a pit maneuver. And again, not that we'd be able to do them at these speeds anyway. But if they get into that situation, the sergeant doesn't want them to do it.
And also we have a passenger who's basically taunting officers, right? Giving them the middle finger, like, come on, come get us. That even increases. Here we have the replay again from earlier on the right side of your screen. This is when we first saw a hand kind of sticking out. We saw a head sticking out from the passenger side of the car. Not sure exactly if they were trying to signal to officers what was going on, and he did it one more time.
The custom Dynadam mic within a mic shock box of this RV50D provides extreme low handling noise for clear sound. Inside the mic there is a large built-in acoustifoam filter that keeps wind and fog noise to an absolute minimum, whether it's indoor or outdoor. The internal transducer uses a mechanical nesting concept, and each part of it is nested inside another, giving the transducer nearly a solid structure, overall improving the audio recording. Meeting the industry standards for handheld interviews in broadcast television production, the RV50D can withstand high humidity.
Maxima or an Altima, kind of a middle-of-the-road car as far as fuel economy goes. And they haven't been driving super fast, but if they didn't have more than a half a tank of gas, they've been going for a couple of hours, then they certainly could be running it down close to empty at this point, which would certainly be good for CHP. So, like I said, they definitely want to be right behind the suspect, be ready for anything if they do decide to get out and run. And now that we're going down, and so we are going towards downtown Long Beach. I believe that's where these lanes are going to take us. If you would have stayed to the right, would have gone towards the ports. This will go towards downtown, and the aquarium there you saw on the sign. So we'll see here. We're going to have a couple of tall buildings, of course, to navigate around. But the first time that we've been on this one on surface streets. We know that they were briefly on surface streets around LAX, and kind of did a little do-si-do there before they picked back up the eastbound 105 away from the airport. East 105, South 710 now getting off the freeway in downtown Long Beach, and so we'll see if there's any thought about spike strips or something like that. We already talked about how it doesn't sound like they're interested in doing a pit maneuver on this, but we have had, since we haven't had super crazy driving, maybe this would be an opportunity for some spike strips if they want to get in with that. We will see.
That's real quick. Is the passenger out the window again?
Go ahead. They are halfway out the window. Yeah. It looked like maybe he had his phone. Like maybe he was taking a selfie with the red and blue lights there in the back. Not sure. I mean, we know that we've definitely had some suspects live streaming pursuits before on Instagram. A very unfortunately increasingly common occurrence, I would say. So I think we're actually going towards the cruise terminals right now. So over by the Queen Mary and the old Spruce Goose hangar, it looks like that's where we're going to be headed. So we'll see here as we come up behind these tall buildings right here. I believe that's going to dead end, though, if they continue going this way. So this might get pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say the sheriff's department's there. They've got 2 helicopters, I think I heard you mention, and they're making a U-turn to come back northbound. But the sheriff's department is there, and there's that passenger again. Look at that. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. Way out the window.
Dangerous, to say the least.
Half his body out the window.
Yeah.
And you know what? Pat Harvey here with Chauncey Glover, Desmond Shaw, Mike Rogers, of course. We're about to start KCAL News at 10. And we've been watching this pursuit as well, along with Juan Fernandez, who was here for the 9 o'clock. This is an armed carjacking suspect. And it's just interesting to see this passenger lean out the window, possibly take pictures. I think
today marks 1 year since I first signed up for the worship team at my local church. And as a singer-songwriter who has performed many solo gigs, you can imagine how curious I was about these in-ear monitors. Over the past 8 months or so, I've used and tested multiple pairs of IEMs. $50 pairs with 12 drivers, $350 pairs with a single driver. Some earpieces fit like a glove, where others feel hard and out of place. There are so many IEMs out there, but today we're looking at some popular options I've used on stage. A few Amazon bestsellers, a brand many of your favorite artists use, and all laid out. One of these should be a good fit, not just for your ears, but also your budget. Starting off with comfort and build quality. This is what's most important to me.
That doesn't make it any more absurd and dangerous. If this, yeah, I mean, if this guy hits the brakes or swerves or something, and his friend's going to go out the window, and that is going to be a very unfortunate ending for them. So, absolutely insane. And it looks like we are getting back on the 710 freeway here. So, 70 miles an hour with half your body out the window. I mean, what can you say?
They just jumped back in, but what could that possibly? Doesn't that add to the charge of what they've already been carjacking? Of course, felony evading.
Yeah.
And this is certainly reckless driving, a number of things. So
just dumb.
Okay, dumb. There should be a charge for that.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at, guys, is just adding up the time that you will be spending possibly behind bars for something like this. Even though you think this might be your last hurrah before you go to jail.
Yeah, and a lot of times we see these passengers that try to, do this, wasn't me, I was just in the car, kind of thing.
And this person.
Exactly. I mean, he's kind of giving himself away a little bit here. I mean, I talked to the sheriff's lieutenant, he told me that both the people in the car are suspects. So I don't think this person in the passenger seat is going to get away with, I was just along for the ride. The sheriffs are calling him a suspect as well. So obviously the driver is the one they're always most interested in because he's the driver, but the passenger is also being described as a suspect.
And Mike, police are saying that these suspects carjacked someone at a gas station.
How's it going, everyone? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with our test drive video. Today we are in my 1995 Chevrolet C1500 two-wheel drive extended cab pickup with 76,000 original miles.
They were able to use their helicopter to locate the car, but at any point they were able to catch that car, trying to pull it over, and it just didn't work. Now the watchman tells me that the victims were not injured in this, which is good news. There was a weapon involved, but the watchman couldn't tell me exactly what that weapon was. But we've already heard CHP say that they're not going to do a pit maneuver here.
So again, we have a 95 Chevrolet C1500. This is a two-wheel drive pickup. Obviously, there's an extended cab pickup as well.
And I want to remind our viewers you're watching KCAL
trucks. They're just great pickups
and we are in the middle of watching a pursuit at one point really driving at higher speeds than we're looking at now.
The mechanics on these trucks are just great.
Freeways and these that you've seen some pretty wild behavior. This guy is
5.7
back
liter
after
V8,
car. Is
back by
this live right
460.
here?
Okay, this pursuit started several hours ago in the carjacking in Linwood. Linwood, I'm gonna get my legal pad with me. Next time, if I got paid in the library, if I do a library paid job, my parents would add money in my debit card so I could go buy 10+ year legal pads. So I take notes for protesting, all of this. It's what's important. This started with a armed carjacking 30 to 40 minutes ago, and this pursuit went on for about 35 minutes. This pursuit went on for about 35 minutes. I'm going to say it again. This pursuit went on for about 35 minutes. Since they've started this chase, this pursuit had been going on for about 40 to 45 minutes. We see the driver doing high speeds, still on the southbound 710 freeway, northbound 710 freeway. And as you can see, this was both of them, the time being inside that car, four-door sports car, 2009 Nissan Maxima. I've been listening all of this. We've seen this driving at 55 miles an hour, 5 or 6 units behind that car. That has took place. The pit maneuver was denied. All they could do is accept the spike strips. They've done a great job dealing with the. They were dealing with the LAXs and the Hawthorne airspace. They're doing a great job. Keeping track. Now got away from both airspace restrictions. Reaching speeds 90 miles an hour, 90 to 100 miles an hour, continuing on at a fast rate of speed. Got off on surface streets also, but plus got back on the eastbound 105 freeway, eastbound carpool lane, and then now westbound Del Amo Boulevard, speeding at almost 60 miles an hour. Got on the surface streets, El Segundo Boulevard. We could tell the victim and the passenger, the suspect in the passenger side, the second one, it seems to be joyriding, continuing on, driving at a normal high rate of speed. We could tell you past the 110 freeway and blacked out their headlights on the freeway. And units got their, not units, that was the first part. And it got too good of a reason now we've seen. It's a marathon live streaming police pursuits. There are a lot of factors. Looks to be a young guy doing that joyriding in the Nissan Maxima. And they'll see what the chance, they do get a chance to do that. Still at 50 miles an hour, picked up. It's a Maxima, Nissan Maxima. They're not an expert car specialist on the newscast of Southern California on ABC 7. Could tell you all of this, where they're telling you, where they're adding. Stop. Now I'm destroying the legal pad. Sorry. Adding to a danger. They've been in the Long Beach area longer than it started, costed, end up in Long Beach, the southbound and the northbound 710 freeway came to an end. I could say that, crossing underneath the creeks, dry creek roads, excuse me, dry creek roads is like a river pothole, like a dry creek driveway alley roads. And I gotta stop revealing that address. Stop. Sorry about it, I apologize. Crossing underneath the dry roads, the dried, wet, and the creek roads seems to be dry. Crossing underneath the creeks once again. That, going on to that bridge, back on the northbound 710 freeway. A little bit of that, and maybe this was closer towards the Linwood area. Then the money went for it. They would put money in a higher value to monetize this pursuit. Caltrans might be setting up here. And as you can see, the northbound 710 freeway, he was on the surface streets in downtown Long Beach earlier on, just a few minutes ago. For a couple of times, they see triple speeds, 100 miles per hour earlier on. Then down to 60, 70 miles an hour. The star destructive behavior keeps going driving slow. If he keeps going slow, they're gonna set up a spike strip. They seem to rebel on this the fifth and sixth time. Six times they started this. This started at 9 p.m. at a gas station in Linwood. Carjacking had happened several hours ago. They've been on this now for at least 2 hours. Spike strips have been deployed. It has been deployed. Now they're running out of gas, hitting the brake lights. The victim called the police. They've used the weapons and forced the carjacking victim out of the car. 2 suspects had used the weapon. This is like a 5-star pursuit in a wanted level. I apologize for revealing that to you. Please forgive me. A matter of fact, I'm running up over to that side. They're having a tire problem to check it out. And it looks like, wow! Oh my god, they never heard about this spike strip. Sorry. Look, I can tell you right now, I'm sorry guys. Look at this, that tire seems to be flat. The authorities on the south side of Long Beach Boulevard, that was a share vehicle that could happen. Now they're bailing out the first one, bailing out of the car. Two individuals bailing out of the car. I could tell you right now that exactly that we were talking about. The doors had opened. We know that's not a big bad. Wow, they forgot to put it in park. Left the car and drive for 3 seconds, running along the embankment. Seems like they want to think about trying to get away from the police. I don't think it's gonna work. Now you see it's coming to an end. This pursuit stopped, and now they're sick of it. 5 suspects that may have found some tree cover, widening out to get away. Looks like an industrial area, container park. He will get tased in a minute or two. Right this minute, he's gonna need to give up and comply. And they said they do not. They got tased, cooperated just in time. A little too late. Once again, he's right on top of them, running across all of the freeways. He was about to get killed. That prevented him from getting ran over. We're told now that this was a suspect, and it was a passenger inside that car. We know. We'll do the robbery suspects tomorrow evening on my YouTube channel. The police pursuit keeps going at high speeds and normal speeds. We'll do that tomorrow. For now, it's a work week. Everybody's starting a new week, new day tomorrow. I want to thank everybody who tuned in on my. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on my. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to my YouTube channel. I want to thank everybody for joining us and for tuning in to my live streaming. Thank you guys. I apologize for feeling that I should have said the suspects were crossing underneath the abandoned creeks where there was no river. It's the water pothole river creek that was crossed underneath by that stolen car earlier on, just a few minutes ago. We saw that car stopped, disabled once again. The pursuit, they've left the car and drive. Thank goodness they've secured the vehicle. I want to thank them for doing a great job. It's the news and the police helicopters that broadcasted, used the night sun overhead, and we are noticing that if you guys drop in your comments like my parents are, all of my fans, my viewers that are tuning in. We're gonna do that tomorrow, and we'll do this on Friday on my YouTube channel. So for now, have a great week. We will see you guys tomorrow and on Friday on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. They backed up on the freeway and you see any K9 units on the way. They have this person in custody once again, and we might say right now 2 individuals are in custody. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We want to thank you guys for staying with us. Have a great night. Have a great week. Good night. We'll see you. We will see you tomorrow evening. In the meantime, those containers, which what makes it harder, and for those southbound of Alondra, driver in custody, and came to an end. This was my first time doing the live streaming. I've done that on my first YouTube channel in 2021, and I want to thank you guys for your support, for liking. 3 likes, good, that's good. I would got you, man. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being part of this. Thanks for watching. Comment down below on your chats and your live streaming down below like you are right now. We want everybody to stay safe. Have a great week. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow evening on my live stream on my YouTube channel. Have a great evening. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. And we'll do a video of the robbery suspects inside that Kia, that sports car. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great evening. And good night. Thanks for watching all those videos on my YouTube channel. Pops up here. Thank you guys for watching. Good night.